third of the three-part Harmony of the Gospel Solved! Exclamation mark. Michael Pigon. I have a lot of respect. I respect you. I respect God. I respect God's Word. And I respect myself. And so, to understand this video and to understand the importance of what I've tried to share with you in the previous two videos, I want to go for a 10 or 15 minute walk with you. And this is as if I was going to die. And that's only fair. Just hold on with me for a second. I've been through a lot in the last 16 years. And 60 days water only took me down to 105 pounds in the year 2012. This project was a 2000 project. Masters of Arts in Religious Studies, 2008. 2012, in Running Springs, California, 60 days, water only, no gum, no juice, no vitamins. Went down to 105 pounds and recovered under the care of a couple people in near Summerlin, Nevada. So to understand what I'm about to share with you and the importance of this work, you really have to understand that I'm speaking as if I'm gone, as if this is my last chance ever to communicate. Some of the people involved, the publishers, the seminaries, this work itself. And I think that's fair, because I have had excruciating chest pain. I have been in the emergency room, and we're not guaranteed another day. And so this presentation, if I'm alive, right, has its own, intimidation. It has its own, impalpability, because here I am, about to say some of the things that I need to say right now. But if I'm gone, if anything should happen, and probably nothing will, right? But if I'm gone in a week or a year, then people will say this video was perfect. This video was all he could do. It was all he could do to try to communicate, this scholarly work, the harmonization of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the true narrative of Christ's earthly ministry. And after I recovered from the fast, right, in Las Vegas, Summerlin, Nevada, I came out here to Running Springs, and I lived and worked in a ski shop that is now a thrift store. See that? The snow's gone, the ski shop is gone. Okay, behind me is a little shopping area, right? Old country coffee shop, the burrito place. And what does that have to do, with scholarship? What does that have to do with Christian publication, right? And this cutoff T-shirt that I'm wearing, this American flag cutoff T-shirt, I have a couple things to say about the heart-wrenching journey that comes with real live Christianity and real live integral Christian scholarship, genuine, authentic, conservative, true Christian scholarship. The journey has been excruciating. And I think that's fair, because if you don't understand what it's like to be in school for 23 years and to earn 10 degrees, and the loneliness and the sacrifice just to have your work ignored, okay, by some people that I'm going to mention, right, in love, because it's only fair. It's only fair that I get to tell my story. And if I'm gone, right, which probably is not going to happen, but if I'm gone, then people will say, this was the only video he could have possibly made. because it is his story and it's the truth. And all he could try to do was communicate the harmonization of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. All right. So the reason with the shirt and the reason I'm sharing my journey here, where I lived and worked in a ski shop, okay, is because scholarship, right? Scholarship happens on our knees. Scholarship happens on our knees, right? This kind of biblical scholarship, it happens through excruciating, tormenting sacrifice, loneliness. I mean, this is not something that has been readily embraced. Now, in 2000, when I presented this at Calvary Chapel South Bay, a scandal started, right? And I was falsely accused, and I was misunderstood, and I did have a call to ministry. And so God does care more for our character than our career sometimes. And so that's why there's no bitterness, because I love the Lord. And he has cared for my character, and he's making me a beautiful person. And he has definitely put my character before my career, right? So because right now it's 2016, right? And eventually, I earned the degrees that I needed to earn, right? To legitimate this work. And that scholarship is available, right? And it's very thorough, by the way. It's very thorough. And it does not depend, here's the shirt, right? It does not depend on German scholarship, on French scholarship, on Latin scholarship. I mean, these languages really should not be required for this doctoral level work, right? Master of Arts in Religious Studies, emphasizing biblical studies. I have 37 Bible verses memorized in Greek and German. But they are not and should not be a requirement for the true narrative of Christ's earthly ministry to be published in all of these Bibles, in study Bibles, in Pew Edition Bibles. You've seen my first two videos. Matthew is out of order in 4 blocked areas of Scripture, as if pieces of parchment had been misplaced, or displaced during handling. Best case, very conservative theory on what happened. But Mark and Luke are in line from beginning to end. And the 6-foot poster shows that. Here's the poster right here, right? And this is not an oversimplification. I mean that John chapter 5 is Pentecost. It shows that Jesus' ministry is 2 years. Okay, and it's the liberal scholarship of Westcott, right? He made an unsubstantiated claim that there's not enough time. This is a technical point, right? There's not enough time between John 2 and John 5, 50 days for Passover and Pentecost for the events of John 3 and 4. Okay, that's a technical point. But because of that one flippant comment, unsubstantiated, that he made, right? John chapter 5 has been up for conjecture. Everybody wants to guess what John chapter 5 is, right? Except for one thing. He never substantiated his claim. And my paper examines the contents of John chapter 3 and John chapter 4. And there's plenty of time, right? John chapter 5 is Pentecost, just so you know, okay? In respect. All right? And the content of John chapter 5 itself, it fits perfectly with Pentecost. And other conservative scholarship have said, John chapter 5 probably is, Pentecost. As long as there's enough time for John 3 and 4 to take place, between Passover of John 2 and John 5. So that's conjecture. So right now in my heart, I've made a commitment to go not more than 15 minutes. Okay, we're at the 9-minute mark. I've got 5 more minutes of your time, if you like me, right? Because that's how it works, right? If you like me. So, I'm pausing here, right? I'm pausing here. It is hard or impossible to try to communicate, what it's like to have this kind of work, this kind of work in my hand and to have it ignored. In 2001, I went to Thomas Nelson Publishers in Nashville, Tennessee, and was turned away at the door, right? I remember, she was a brunette. She wore black leg stockings and a fitted black skirt. And I showed her the work, and I was sent away, because they don't accept non-solicited work. And so Thomas Nelson Publishers, it was the first publisher that I really tried to share this work with, and I have sent them this work. I've sent them the poster and an introductory letter, as well as to many others. This past October 2015, I sent out about 25 of these. And nobody called to say thanks. Nobody called to say got it. Nobody wrote back to say, don't quit your day job. Nobody wrote back to say, what is this, or why did you send it, or can we return it back to you? Nobody, nothing. Darryl Bock received this. Him and I were in email communication. That is Dallas Theological Seminary. I sent it to Germany. He took it with him, back to Dallas, and he just never got back to me. Most recently, very kind person, gave me an hour and a half of his time. Pike Lambeth, right? He has publishing rights for the American Standard Bible, New American Standard Bible. And so presidents of the office, John MacArthur's seminary, they had a renowned scholar there for a while, Harmony of the Gospels, Gundry, Gundry, and so many others, conservative scholarships, Talbot, right? Three scholars there I sent this work to, right? And so I could go on, right? But this is only to say, a couple words because I'm probably not going to die, right? I'm probably going to be around to reestablish and try to reestablish a connection with seminaries, with publishers, with pastors, right? Because I'd still like to see this work published. Michael Pigon. Michael C. Pigon, Harmony of the Gospel Solved, ! Unpublished as of 2016. A work that I did in 2000. So just so you know, there are so many implications with this work. The personality of Christ, the date that we establish, the year of his birth. A 2-year ministry makes a big difference. And a 2-year ministry is what the Gospels is what they offer. That's what they offer. They offer a 2-year ministry season by season. Okay? They offer a chance to fall in love with the person of Christ and to see how he establishes his friendships in Galilee and how he handles his nemesis in Judea. And so to fall in love with the narrative is to fall in love with the ministry and the person of Christ, and to understand his leadership, right? And his relationships, right? So that's about it. I've got just 1 minute, to say goodbye. 15 minutes, right? Michael Pigon, Master of Divinity, Master of Arts in Religious Studies, Azusa Pacific University, 2008, Harmony of the Gospel Solved, michael.pigon@gmail.com, Pigon. If it was up to me, like Paul said, I'm tired. It would be better for me if I left. I would rather go. I'm tired. I've been at this a 40-day fast in 1993, a 60-day fast in 2012. I'm tired. But I'll probably be here. And my dream is very conservative, to teach and to publish on the true narrative of Christ's earthly ministry. I've done substantial other work, right? Using Strong's numbers and doing definitive word studies accordingly. So I don't think that I'm going to be going anywhere soon, because there's a lot of work to do for the health of the church, But for now, I want to say I love you and I appreciate you, and I don't deserve to take up 15 minutes of your time. But let's see what the Lord does. Okay? Talk to you soon. Love you.